Hello, everybody. Hello. So I have three screens going on at the same time. First of all, with Zoom, I'll be looking more at Facebook and Instagram because that's where it's going live at. And this will be definitely a replay. So because you've been seeing the side of my head, I wanted to give you a fair warning for those of you who are going to be watching me on replay. But it is Building Your Bank Week has started. Started now. So, like I said, I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook, and I'm also recording this on Zoom for people who will be watching this later. And those of you who have signed up for the replay, signed up in the emails list, you all will be getting replays because I'm doing it on Zoom. Everybody that follows me on Instagram, of course, it's only going to last for 24 hours. Facebook, it will be up for a while, but everybody who has signed up for the email list are the ones who are going to definitely have the replay for themselves, especially if they want to be able to retake some notes and get things done, start taking some action on what we're going to talk about. I want to thank everybody who is already signed up in the email list, and your first email went out at about an hour ago with some information, and then in the morning another email will be coming out with a recap of this live as well as some extra tips that I am going to add in there. And that's the benefit of being on the email list, because you're getting more than everybody that's seeing the live. Okay, now if you don't know, Building Your Bank Week is all about, for those of you who are wanting to start a business and take it to the next level, or those who have already been in business maybe a couple of years and you haven't walked away full-time, or you've been trying to make it there like full-time, but the money's just not there and you're trying to figure out what is really going on. So that's what Building Your Bank Week is about. It's about those business owners as well as those who want to be full-time paid speakers. It's also in there. That's why I have also created two bundles. The first one is the Life and Business Bundle, and the second one is the Speaker's Blueprint. So those are two different bundles that I have 8 videos each in them, answering the most common questions that I get when I'm speaking out in public, as well as in my DMs. And so I made 8 videos in each one of those. A lot of you have already bought them, so it's only 100 available at $99 a piece. And already 15 of one is going and 10 of another one is going. I just introduced this like yesterday or the day before, and I haven't really started promoting it until today. And already some of them are gone. So when they are gone, the price goes up from $99 to $147, period. That's it. But the Life and Business Bundle, the videos that are in there is how to start your business the right way. A lot of people are been in business for 2 years, 3 years, and they still don't have the fundamentals there. And that's where a lot of their money is not coming in the way that they want to. How to start a business with children. I get that question a lot. So it's a video about that one. How to run a business when you're married to a non-entrepreneur. There are some strategies around that as well. For example, before I got on here, of course, I was doing some work, getting ready, but I also had to cook dinner because my husband cares a lot more about his stomach than me getting on these lives. So I had to make sure that was done. So that's why I did a video about how to run a business when married to a non-entrepreneur, how to trademark effectively, how to start and grow a business while working full time, because it is a balance. And that's what I did. I was in corporate America for 10 years before I started my business. I've been in business now for 8 years. But for 10 years, I was in corporate America. And those last 2 years, I was transitioning out into my full-time business. So that video is about that, how to network online and also how to network on social media and offline in front of people that you're face-to-face, how to handle student loan debt, because I'm asked that, of course, all the time. And many of us who have been out of school for 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, still have student loan debt. So that video is going to help you with that one. And then the last one in the Life and Business Bundle is how to handle creditors so you don't get scammed. Now, the Speaker's Blueprint is a whole new 8 videos. And those videos, the first one is how to get on the news. You all know I've been on the news now 3 years. So I got on there, but how do you actually get invited back? And how do you actually be able to be on different news stations, not just one? That information, how you find the ways to get on there, is in that video. How to sell your books in bulk, not just like one by one. How to negotiate your speaking fees is another video. 3 things you need in place as a speaker. The fifth video is how to network as a speaker, because that's a lot different than if you have a different kind of business. You have to say some things a little differently as a speaker when you're networking. How to get speaking engagements from LinkedIn, how to find conferences to speak at, and how to work a conference once you get there. So those are the videos in both of those bundles. And like I said, only 100 available, and once they're gone, they're gone. The link is definitely in my bio for Instagram, and then on Facebook, that link is also in one of the posts, but I'll share it again on here as well. So let's get started. Tonight is all about what you need to do today, immediately, to make sure that your business is growing in the fall 2020 and beyond. These are some of the fundamentals, and even for those who have been in business for a little bit, what needs to be done. Because a lot of times we say we're entrepreneur, we say we have a business, but it's more like a side hustle instead of a business. And people see it that way, and why they see it that way, that's why you're not making the money that you should be making. Because many of us have great products, great services, and we should be making more money. But because we are not doing what we need to do and should have been doing at the beginning, that's why things aren't going the way they should be. So tip number one, and some of you might be saying, well, duh, but I have worked with a lot of clients who do not have this, and they can't get big checks because of it. And that is, you need to make sure if you're starting a business, or you've been in business for about a year or whatever, because I've met somebody who's been in business for 2 years. Now, they still working full time, but they were running this business on the side, and they were trying to make it their full time. You all need to have an LLC, at least an LLC. This is extremely important, especially if you want to work with certain industries, because each and every time that you're trying to work with somebody, they're going to send you a W-9, because they need to make sure that they are being able to get their taxes right. And that if they are contracting out with someone or buying your products and so forth, they need a W-9. They need something to say, we pay this person this amount of money each year. So whenever it's tax time, I get all of these documents in from different institutions, different companies, and that's because of the W-9 and my LLC. If you do not have an LLC, when you start trying to pitch people, and we'll talk about pitching in a little bit, when you're trying to pitch people and they ask you, for your EIN, and so that's your LLC, and you don't have one, they're going to start to look a little like, because they don't want to make any mistakes when dealing with any kind of contractor, any kind of vendor, any kind of person at all, service, product, whatever. That's why it's important that if you don't have an LLC, you need to have one. It also protects you personally, for the most part. When I speak, okay, that's my business. Nobody's going to sue me over speaking or my books and so forth. But some of you may have different kind of businesses, and so an LLC is, if they sue you, it only touches the business and not your personal. So those of you who are married to a non-entrepreneur, that makes them feel a lot better that their house can't be taken, or their cars, or whatever it may be, because the LLC is there in place. So you need to make sure that you have an LLC. That is going to make sure that you're going to get the type of checks that you want to get, not people trying to pay you under the table or pay you cash and all that kind of stuff. No, writing you some nice checks. You need to make sure that you look professional with an LLC immediately. And you can have multiple businesses, and they can be all up under this one umbrella, under the LLC. You all know me from Debt Sucks University, okay? Debt Sucks University. That is not my company name. That is not who people write checks to. So please get you an LLC. So that is tip number one. Tip number two, figuring out who your client is, okay? Who your client is. A lot of people get this confused. And even what I mean by knowing who your client is who is the person that writes the checks. As a speaker, a lot of people think that employees, college students, or high school students are my clients, but they're not. They're not the ones that I pitch to. They're not the ones that I contact. It's those who are over them, okay? Those who make decisions. You have to find out who your client is, who's the decision maker. So let's say that you sell clothing. The decision maker usually is going to be one person. A lot of times it's going to be the woman. So even if you sell children's clothing, it's still the woman, mainly because women make up majority of the spending decisions in the country, probably in the world. So I'm in the States. So those of you who are watching this internationally, in the morning, during your time, women around the world make most of the buying decisions in the household. So if you're selling clothes, your client is, let's say it's children clothes. Your client is not the children. Your client is the mother that's going to have to spend the money. So that's why you have to know who your client is, and not only who your client is, but what income bracket are they in? Where do they work? Because a lot of times we have high-end products and we're going after someone not in that income bracket, and we're wondering why we're not getting any traction. It's because you're talking to the wrong person. Okay, you're talking to the wrong person. So you need to know who that person is, and you also need to know where you can find them. Now, with me, I find my clients, and the reason I say this is because some clients, depending on how many industries you deal with or how many different groups of people you deal with, some of them are easier to find than others. I deal with human resource professionals. They are a lot harder to find than others. So because I understand that, I do my research to find out exactly where they are, and then I go where they are, and that's how I get those contracts. So not only do you need to know who your client is and like what income bracket they are, different characteristics about them, but you need to know where to find them. And the only way that you're going to know where to find them is if you know who they are. Okay, so making sure that this week, one of the steps that you need to take is really sit down and write who is my ideal client? How do they look? Write it down. Take your time and write it down. Like, it shouldn't be in your head. It should be written down who that person is. Okay. And if it's in different industries or different groups of people, then maybe you have 3 different type of clients. I do have 3 type of clients that I go after. And so that is why I have to know who they are so I can know where they are. And so that I can be able to grow my business that way. So take your time and find out, write down who your client is, who you want to sell to, and how you're going to sell to them. Number 3, please look professional. Please have a professional looking business. And that is online and offline. We'll talk about social media a little while later, but I'll touch on it a little bit right now. Your personal Instagram and your business Instagram or business social media profiles should be separate from your personal. Okay. I am my brand. So that's why you don't really see a personal Facebook, or those that, who are on Facebook with me know what my Facebook is. But you see a business Facebook, you see business Instagram, you see business LinkedIn, you see business Twitter. Everything's business. They are separate. I don't even have a personal Instagram account. Everything that I do on Instagram is business. And so if you have a business, your business should have a social media profile separate from your personal. People need to be able to separate the two. Many people are not getting the money they should be getting, even though they have a great product, great services, because they don't separate their personal and their business lives. And so somebody who might have wanted to give you a $10,000 check to buy a whole bunch of your products or to hire you for something as far as service, they went to your business page, but it's a lot of personal there. And they're not giving anybody $10,000 that has that kind of, unprofessionalism going on. So first and foremost, that's what I mean by looking professional. Having you a website. If you have a business, you need to have a website. You need to have a website. I don't know how many networking events I go to, and they give me their card and there's no website. So I look them up on Google, and sure enough, there is no website. It wasn't a mistake that was missing on the business card. No, they just don't have a website. And you want to do business with me, and you haven't even invested in a website? You haven't spent money to get a website? No, we're not doing business, because you're not even investing in your business. So if you don't take it serious enough to invest in basically the fundamentals, which is a website, how are you going to invest in working with me and for me to be your client or for me to buy something from you? Because if you, let's once again use the clothing as an example, or hair products or beauty products or a service, a speaker, why am I going to buy from you if you don't have a website? That means there's some hole somewhere that if I order from you, like, oh gosh, I'll tell you the story. Perfect example. This guy was on a national radio show, and the people said, how do they get your album? And he said, you can call me at, and gave his personal number. No website to buy his CD. You know, they've been talking to this person for like 30 minutes about his music. And he gave them he gave all the people that listen to that station his personal phone number. Not a website. And that moves me on to the next point. Email. Please have a professional email address. And so if you have a website, you have an email address to go along with that. So along with that young man that was selling his CD, in addition to him saying, my phone number is this, he also said, and you can reach me at so-and-so at gmail.com. I'm not knocking anybody that just started and they don't have that yet, but you need to get it as soon as possible. It does not look professional. It's at gmail.com, at yahoo.com. When you all see me, if you see anything on any of my websites or my business card, thank you, business card, you see Janae at debtsucksuniversity.com, info at debtsucksuniversity.com, kate.portman at debtsucksuniversity.com, my assistant. Like, everybody has debtsucksuniversity.com after it. And it's not hard to do, but it just makes you be in a different level. And when you're in a different level, you're in a different pay grade. People are very funny about their money. And they're not just going to spend it with anybody. Not when there's all this competition out here. You don't have a website? Oh, let me put in Google. All right, a financial literacy speaker. Janae didn't have a website, so let me find somebody else. Oh, look, they got a website. Let me give them my $10,000. And I lost that business because of a website that costs $12 to $14 a month. $12 to $14 a month. Everybody should have a website. If you feel like you can't afford $12 to $14 a month, you need to make some changes in your finances. And y'all know that's what I'm about. I paid off 50 grand of debt in 2 years. I did that so I can do what I'm doing today. If I was still in debt, you would not be seeing me on any of these screens because I could not afford it. And the only thing I'm talking about is a website. I'm not talking about everything else that you're going to have to spend money on. It's time to get lean. So if you feel like you can't spend $14 a month on a website, then we need to start looking at your finances first and foremost. Business cards also need to be professional. It's okay to start off with, what is that stuff called? Vistaprint. It's fine, just Vistaprint, Staples, whatever. You can start off like that. But once you start getting to the higher ranges of what you want to get paid, these business cards got to be a little bit more professional. They got to have a little bit more thickness to them. And I don't have one of mine in front of me, but I have 3 different size business cards. And I actually cover my business cards in one of the videos in the life and business bundle, like what you need to do, how it needs to look, why you need to do it that way. But you need to have professional business cards with the professional email on it and your website address and your social media handles that are also named after your business. Unless you are a speaker or unless you are the brand. So everybody knows that my handles are Janae Adams Speak on Twitter and Instagram. And then it's Janae Dreamgirl Adams on Facebook because I am the brand. But if you have a certain kind of business that you're not the brand, then, and it's some kind of product or service that you have and your business is called something else, that everything needs to be that. So for those of you who are just thinking about starting your business, or you started your business, but you really haven't gotten on social yet, we'll talk about that in a second, what you need to do. So that was tip number 3, look professional, okay? And for those that are just joining me, I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook Live, and I am recording this on Zoom. So if you're seeing me do my hair like this, it's because I have 3 screens going on at the same time. But thank you all for joining me. So number 3 was look professional. Number 4 is pitch, 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 pitch. We talked about number 2, finding out who your ideal client is. Once you find that out and where they are, it's time to pitch them. It's time to pitch them. This is a world of what, 7 billion people? You can't afford to think that somebody is just going to find your business, because they are not. They say humans have the attention span of about 3 to 4 seconds now. 3 to 4 seconds. So you have to be continually pitching people. So from a speaker's point of view, okay, I would say this young lady, now it's been like 2 years, and it hasn't been like heavy pitching this year. I see her in a conference, sent her something. Then she reached out to me again recently. And when she reached out to me this time, she's ready to work now. And now I am basically following up with her. Okay, when do you want to do the dates and so forth? But like I said, I pitched her multiple times. Like pitched her on the email, seen her at a conference, pitched her again because now she sees my face. And those of you who get the speaker's blueprint, pitching and how to work conferences is in there. And you find out exactly what I do when I go to conferences and how I get speaking engagements. But you have to pitch people. You have to find out who your ideal client is, and you got to get to emailing some people. You got to get to calling some people. You got to get out to some networking events and telling people what your product is, what your service is, what your value is, and why they need you. How their life is going to go a lot better if they hire you or if they buy your product. Pitching is where your money is going to come from. Nobody is coming to look for you at all. That's why it's so important to understand what we're on right now, social media, and to understand networking offline. Like I told you, one of those videos in the Life and Business Bundle is how to network online and offline. You have to be able to make sure that people don't walk away from you. You got to make sure people keep reading that email you send. Because if they don't, then guess what? You just miss out on opportunity. Because if you send an email to somebody and they look at it and they don't think it's professional, or they don't think it really speaks to them, because really you're only talking about yourself instead of what the value you bring, they're going to delete it. And every email you send out to that will not even be read. It will be deleted. It would say, oh, that's that girl named Janet again. My name is spelled with a T. So that's why I said that. My name is J-A-N-E-T. So people that, if I sent the email that doesn't look right or doesn't speak to their values, only speaks about me and what I can do and they don't care. They care about what you can do for them. And so if my email doesn't speak to that, if my pitch doesn't speak to that, they're going to delete it, and you just lost your chance with that person, and it's over. Like I said, I spent 10 years in corporate America. I was a marketing major, graduated business, 10 years in corporate America in a Fortune 100 company. And now I've been in business for 8 years. I have been pitching for 18 years. So when I was in corporate America, I had clients I had to call on. I had to pitch them to buy my product every single day. I was responsible for $1 million a year in products, $1 million. And so now, and then with my business now, in order to eat, you got to kill. Killing is the pitching part. You got to go out there. You cannot be shy about sending people emails. You cannot be shy about going to events and talking about your business. Because if you don't talk about it, nobody's going to buy from you. Nobody's going to hire you. And guess what? That business that you wanted to use to get away from working for other people, you're going to be right back working for other people. You just will. Because it takes money in order to run a business. So you cannot be afraid to talk about it and to pitch it to other people. You will get the word no, and that is fine. You're not going to die. You are not going to die from the word no. You will live on. I get plenty of no's every week, and I keep it moving because I know eventually a yes is going to come, and it always comes. And it's more than one yes. So I have no problem with the no's, because the no's are very understandable. The no's get these people out of your way. What kills a business is these maybes. Maybe we will, maybe, I don't know. You won't know. Because when you get a no, you can check them people right off the list. Goodbye. You never hear from me again. So don't be afraid that the reason that you're not pitching is because you don't want to hear the word no. You don't want to call somebody on the phone and say, no, I don't need that, or no, not right now. Da, da, da. You don't want to hear that. You don't like rejection. Rejection and failure leads to success. No leads to a yes. So take the no's, eliminate these people. They're not going to be your clients. They're not going to be the person that buys from you, and move on to the next. All right, I'm sure I've beaten that one to death. So pitch is your fourth tip. So fifth tip is decide how much money you want to make. So those that are just joining me, what we're doing, first of all, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Zoom. So that's why you see my head moving from side to side. Tonight, what we're talking about in Building Your Bank Week, this is the first night. I got 5 nights going on. What we're talking about is what you need to do now in order to grow your business in the fall 2020 and beyond. So this is just some foundational basic things that needs to be done ahead of time. I mean, like right now, so that you can be making more money coming up in the next few months. Thanks. So number 5 is decide how much money you want to make. I talked about how you need to sit down and write down who your ideal client is. You also need to sit down and write down how much money you want to make. The people who fail at this the most are those of you who are still working for someone else, because you have a steady paycheck coming in. And because you have a steady paycheck coming in, it's not that you don't take it as seriously as you should, but what it is that because you have that safety net behind you, you don't look at how much money you need to make in order to leave that safety net and create your own safety net. Entrepreneurship is creating your own future. Starting your business is creating your own future. That's why it's so serious to start it the right way. That's why I made that video in the Life and Business Bundle about starting your business the right way. Because if you don't, you're going to end up back working for people that you don't want to work for. I don't ever want to go back to the industry I was in. Ever. I will figure something else out. And that was the motivation to make sure I did what I needed to do. So you have to sit down and ask yourself, how much money do I want to make? How much money do I want to make while I'm still working for somebody else? And how much money do I want to make when I am working for myself? Now here comes the financial literacy part. They help you with these numbers. You need to know how much your expenses are every month. And I'm talking about concrete. You cannot have, on your spending plan that you have eating or food. That's not going to work. You need to have dining out and groceries. That's how specific your spending plan needs to be. Because when you know how much money you spend each month, you now know how much money you need to bring in each month in order to make things work in your business. Because understand that if you make $50,000 a year, $80,000 a year, $100,000 a year, that does not look the same as an entrepreneur. Because you're saying, okay, I make $50,000 a year in this company. I need to make $50,000 a year as an entrepreneur. Wrong. Because at that company that you work for, they buy all the pencils, they buy all the staplers, they give you a computer. Some people give you a cell phone. They give you an expense account for your gas or a company car, whatever it may be. They pay for a lot of things that as an entrepreneur, you're now going to have to pay for. When I was in corporate America, I had a company car and a gas card. I didn't pay for gas for 10 years. And I had a car from somebody else, their car, for 10 years. When I left, I did not have a gas card anymore, and I did not have that car anymore. Those are just 2 quick examples of how your money from what you're getting paid in your job now does not equal the same in entrepreneurship. That's why you have to sit down and ask yourself how much money you want to make, because you're going to have expenses. I'll run down one of my expenses for you. There's this conference that I'm going to have to pay for soon, in like the next 2 months. That happens in September. In order to have a booth, it costs. So everybody doesn't know me. I'm an international speaker. I speak about money. That's why I'm talking a lot about money. The booth cost me $1,500. Even before I get there, $1,500. I'm gonna have to pay that within the next month or so for a September conference. The conference is the booth only, $1,500. That does not count in my marketing materials because I got to reorder business cards. I got to reorder books to sell there. I got to make sure that all my marketing material is right and my banner is there. That's money. I also have to travel. So this year is in Chicago. That's easily a $200 ticket. I got a deal on the hotel, but if I didn't have the deal on the hotel, then it'll be $169 a night for 5 nights to stay at this conference. Yeah, you have to look at everything in expenses, definitely. So that's already that. The good thing is, I'm going to have to pay for a taxi to get from the airport in Chicago to downtown where I'm staying at on Magnificent Mile. And then back, that's more money. I have to eat while I'm there. And a lot of times I have to do some copies while I'm there because I run out of copies or something like that and I have to make more. Usually this conference costs me overall, especially this year, probably $2,500 to $2,800 total. $2,500 for one conference. One conference. $2,500 for one conference. Now, understand this. My return on investment from that conference usually is about $30,000. So, although I'm angry every year about spending that $1,500 on that booth, I get a return on investment. The issue here that I'm trying to share with you all is that you got to have the money in the first place. And you have to understand that your salary that you have right now, whatever you get paid, does not equal what you need to make as an entrepreneur. You need to make more. So if you're making 60 grand now, you probably as an entrepreneur need to make 70 to 75 grand. Depending on what you're doing, what you're selling, what industry you are. I'm a speaker. I don't have any, other than my books, my products are mostly online. All my courses are online. But those of you who have products such as hair products, clothing products, things that you got to get made and get shipped here, that is some money, okay? And so you need to know how much you're going to make each year so that you can break it down month by month to know what you need to be bringing in. This is something that you need to write down tonight. When we get off here, it is still early here on the East Coast, early enough. West Coast is real early for you. For those of you international that'll be watching this tomorrow, as soon as you watch it, get this done. Start writing your money down. Start writing the money that you want to make down, and then start breaking it up to what you need going forward. Because these tips, Instagram is acting up. These tips are going to help you make more money, but it doesn't matter if it makes you more money and you didn't get your expenses right in the first place, because it meant you need to make even more money. Okay. So once again, I've really hammered that in. So decide, that's number 5, decide on how much money you want to make. And make sure you all are getting your questions together. We got one more tip, but then make sure to be able to ask your questions, because that's really when the knowledge really comes in and I'm able to really even share more. So the last tip is, how will you use social media to grow your business? Whether you're new to business or not, social media needs to be part of your business plan, your marketing plan. Those of you who follow me on any of my social media platforms that I'm active in, I am on social media all the time because I get business online and offline. You have to have multiple streams of income. So I have my online courses. I have my books. I have my speaking. I have my academy. These are multiple streams of income, but the way I get it out to the world is to what we're on right now. Anybody in the world can be watching me right now. Anybody in the world, because of Zoom, is going to be watching me for as long as I have this going, which can be forever, you have to understand how to grow your business through what you're on and looking at me on right now through social media. And that's doing lives to share your intelligence, to share your knowledge around whatever you do in your business. And it's also to be able to post to help your community out, to bring them value. What I'm doing right now is bringing value. I had questions, the same questions asked over and over again. And that's why I created Building Your Bank Week. That's why I'm doing 5 full days of content, is because I know what my community has been asking me in my DMs. And so I am doing this to help. So you use social media to bring value to people, to help people. That's what this world should be about, is about helping other people with whatever gift you have. And your gift comes out in the service you provide, in the products you provide. So my gift is speaking. My gift is financial stewardship and financial literacy. My Butter Bar Skincare, her gift is the skin products she provides to a lot of people. Anybody else that you may be thinking of, whatever the value is, use these platforms to spread it out to the world. To spread it out to the world. I'm going to get your question, so I'll keep it right there. So using social media to really get it out there. Because the more you help people, the more successful you're going to be. That's just how life works. The more you help other people and bring value to other people, the more that your business is going to grow, and you're going to be just fine. And you're not going to be working for anybody else ever again once you walk away. Okay? So make sure that you understand how to use social media for your business so that you can grow it. All right. Another topic that we're going to do this week on the free part, the building your brand part, is how to use video effectively to grow your business. That's social media. That's what I'm talking about. That's just one tool of how you use it. It's through video. And so we're going to talk about that and what you need to know around video. That's why it's so important for you to be on the email list. Be on the email list, because those on the email list, of course, everybody's getting the lives, but those on the email list are getting extra information and tips and strategies that after each live, they're going to get more, because I'm going to get information from you all, questions, and I'm going to want to expand on what we talked about even more and share even more tips. So if you're not on the Building Your Bank email list, click the link in the bio Instagram. Those are on Facebook. It is in my profile. Make sure that you click the link and join the email list. Okay. So get your questions ready on Instagram. We already have a question on Facebook. And so what is personal branding and how do you master that? Personal branding is basically what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay. Personal branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room, what they say about your business when you're not in the room. So just 2 minutes ago, I talked about Butter Bar Skincare. Her products are awesome. She doesn't know I'm on here right now talking about it and promoting it. I don't get paid for that. But because of the excellence of her business and her products, I'm sharing it with you all. I'm sharing it on Zoom. Who knows how many people are going to see this throughout the lifetime. Okay. So your personal branding is what people say about your business when you're not around. How you master that can be different ways, and it depends on the industry that you are in. So I know that you do workout and exercise and so forth. So being able to always be in a position that when you're giving value online and offline, that it's around fitness, it's around exercising, it's around healthy eating, whatever it may be. You know it more than I do, but I'm always talking about money. That is my personal brand. Everybody knows that if they got a money question, that they can come to Janae. That's my personal brand, and that's what I build everything around. Even though we're doing Building Your Bank Week and we're talking a lot about business, it still leads back to money, because that's my personal brand. Like, I'm doing all of this week to bring it back to people making more money. And when they make more money, they pay off debt, they save money, they can retire early, whatever it may be. So that's why everything that you're doing and how you master that is that everything has to be around fitness. It has to be around whatever, for everybody else watching, whatever your product or your service is. That's what your personal brand needs to be. Like I said on social media when we were talking about that, and earlier when we were talking about looking professional, if you are not the face of the brand or your personal brand in your business, your personal social media and personal life needs to be separate from the business. So whenever I go and teach people, small business owners, I let them know all the time. I ask them, what is your business name? What do you do in that business? Okay, so it's that name. If you don't want to be the face of it, you don't have to be. And if you're not, then everything better be those products and those services and not your face. But if you are the face, if you are the personal brand, you need to be everywhere. Nobody's going to have me come speak if they don't get this kind of feeling from me on social media or networking or just meeting me out and about. That's my personal brand. Okay. So hopefully I answered that question for you. Let me know. Anybody else, feel free to put your question into the box. Okay. Any questions you may have around what we talked about tonight. Tomorrow we're going to do the how to use video effectively to grow your business. Okay. Any questions right now? Okay, good. Any questions? Are you all still having? I don't know what time it is. Oh, 7:49. We've been going for 40 minutes, 49 minutes. So, almost an hour. Any questions before we get off? All right. So just remember, if you have not signed up for the email list, make sure you do, because you're going to get more content than everybody else is just watching this live. And if you are knowing that you are ready to invest in your business, whether it is starting a business or growing your business, or you want to be a full-time paid speaker, please make sure you check out the Life and Business Bundle and the Speaker's Blueprint Bundle. This is to cut your learning curve short, okay? That's the reason I did it. I don't want you making the same mistakes that I did. I want you to get to a certain point a lot faster than I did. All right, we got another question. How do you prevent analysis paralysis? I used to have that issue in the past. And what I realized is that the longer I take to do things, because first of all, it's never going to be perfect. The longer I take to do things, the slower I'm getting to helping somebody else. I always say to myself, Janae, there is somebody out there that needs your help in this area. So I know that there are people that are starting their businesses that are trying to figure out how to get away from working for other people, living the life that they want to live. So I can't spend months on building your bank week. I can't do that. Because if I do that, then they are not going to get what they need. And my life has always, especially since I started this business, is to get people closer to their dreams. And so when you're thinking about you're having analysis paralysis, remember that this is a marathon. So I'm talking to everybody. Business is a marathon. Majority of us on here are living probably close to 70 to 80 more years. All right, 70 more years, 60 to 70 more years. So I'm thinking to myself, I got 70 more years. So some of you might have 50, some of you might have 60 more years, okay? 40 or whatever it may be. Either way, you have a marathon. So don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, because you're going to have another chance at bat. I've had products for years. My academy now is going on its second year. I'm still revamping it, but I didn't wait. I got it done, had somebody check over it. They were like, looks good to me, pitched it out. I got feedback from certain people that was like my client base, like my ideal client. They said, I need this to look like this and like that. Now I redid it, and now it's starting to work a little bit better. So don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Get it out, ship it. Seth Godin says ship it. I learned that from him. Ship it. You can readjust as you go. But once you get into shipping it and getting things done and getting things out, it makes it a lot easier to keep doing that, to keep creating products or getting different clients, going into new industries, because it's just repeating itself. So I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, just let me know. Okay, another question we have on Instagram and Facebook. If you got questions, just put it down in the post in the comment box. Did you have to do any paperwork to be able to use Debt Sucks University? Yes, my Debt Sucks University is trademarked. Okay, it is trademarked. The reason I did that is just because to be able to protect. But the reason I did that is because of where I knew I was wanted. I did it years ago, where I wanted my business to be. This is also why I'm telling you all to really sit down and figure these steps out, to write them down, because you can't just think in the presence. The present time, you got to think about the future. So I knew that I wanted to not only speak all around the world, but I wanted to have online products. I wanted to have programs. I wanted to have books. And so in order to do that, I needed to make sure that the name that most people know me by needed to be protected, okay, and needed to be trademarked. And that's what it is. So that's one thing with the life and business bundle, how to trademark effectively, knowing what the prices are and so forth. I talk about that and what needs to be done and why it needs to be done and when it needs to be done. I definitely talk about that in the life and business bundle. So being able to trademark effectively, because it can make a really big difference, especially if you know where you want your business to go going forward. But definitely, I will tell you this, you need to make sure that that name, whatever name you're going with, and this is for everybody, that's what you're going with. Trademarking is not cheap. It's not. Okay. Now, once again, let's go back to the money. You need to know how much money you want to make as an entrepreneur, because things like that cost money. Trademarking costs money. Your LLC costs money. And guess what? You have to renew your LLC, file something every year. And where I live at is $225. No, $202, excuse me, every single year, just for me to basically pay them. The money has to be there. That's why you really need to sit down. And this is for everybody on Facebook and Instagram and Zoom. You really need to sit down and figure out how much money you want to make as an entrepreneur and get that down to a science. Yes, you will have to adjust it as you go, because as I start off with colleges, now I deal with employers, employees, and high school students. So as I start moving into different industries, in order to market to them, in order to do what needs to be done, in order to go to conferences that I need to go to, it costs more money, okay? So that's why I say you got to get your money right from the get-go so that you can adjust it as you go, but don't be so far. That's getting your money right and writing it down, what you want to make as an entrepreneur. Make sure you're not completely off, that you end up messing up your personal bills. You don't want to do that. Especially those of you, like I told you, one of the videos in the Life and Business Bundle is about how to start a business and run a business when you're married to an entrepreneur. I mean, a non-entrepreneur, like somebody who don't care nothing about being an entrepreneur. I tell you what they do care about: the money in the household. So that's why it's so important for you to sit down and really plan out how much money you want to make as an entrepreneur. It cannot be what you make in a salary. It needs to be more, because you're going to have more bills and more expenses than you are working for somebody else who pays for everything. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Any other questions we got? Any other questions? Instagram keeps having this whole pause because of connection thing. Any other questions? All right. So as you're thinking of any questions that you may have, Facebook and Instagram, just a reminder, we had 100 bundles each of the Life and Business Bundle and the Speaker's Blueprint Bundle. But now one of those is down to 85 and another one is down to 90. I don't know where it is right now, because I've really been promoting it. I just started today, like promoting it hard, and I'm about to put out some videos talking more about it. So I know some more of them are going to go. They are $99 right now. When the 100 are gone, they're going up to $147. If you want both of them, for both of them, you get $147. Those at the beginning, you heard the videos, but I'll share with those who came on later. So the Life and Business Bundle, the videos is how to start your business the right way, how to start your business with children, how to run a business when married to a non-entrepreneur, how to trademark effectively, how to start and grow your business while working full-time, how to network online and offline, how to handle student loan debt, because everybody knows I paid off 50 grand of debt in 2 years. So I give some of those tips in there. How to handle creditors is that whole 8 videos for that bundle. The Speaker's Blueprint Bundle has how to get on the news, because those of you who know, I've been on the news for 3 years now on different stations. How to sell your books in bulk, how to negotiate speaking fees, because that is a big question for a lot of us speakers, is how to negotiate your speaking fees from the time you begin and as you progress. 3 things you need in place as a speaker: how to network as a speaker, how to get speaking engagements from LinkedIn, how to find conferences to speak at, and how to work a conference so you can make money. So like I said, that conference that costs $1,500 for me to have a booth, and so overall probably $2,500 to $2,800 that I end up spending. a lot of times nets me $30,000. And that's not just a one time. I'm building relationships where I go back and speak again. I sell more books again, year after year. My online platforms, whenever I come up with something new, I can introduce it because these are ongoing clients. So that part, that video in there about how to work a conference, it's about how to work a conference so you come away with speaking engagements, highly paid speaking engagements. Okay. Any other questions before we get off of here? Any other questions? Because I'm sure Instagram is about done because we're almost at an hour. All right. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Well, thank you all for joining me this evening. I hope you all have a great rest of the evening. Join me tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to talk about how to use video effectively to grow your business. Okay. This is one of the classes that I teach to small business owners that I get paid to teach. And so you're all going to get it for free tomorrow. So make sure, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Instagram, Facebook Live, we'll be going, and make sure you sign up for the email list so you can get the extra content that comes as well. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Zoom.